Now that my Swedish death cleaning tasks are largely finished, it has opened up a lot more time and space in my life. And while I've shared with you before how I've noticed an improvement in my mental clarity, it is so much more than that. As I've spent time reflecting, I've been struck with the realization that I have stopped chasing so many things in my life. And I've also noticed that I am happier now than I've ever been. Coincidence? I don't think so. Cause and effect? I do believe so. In today's video, I'm sharing some of the things that I'm no longer chasing, that I once thought mattered the most. Maybe some of them will resonate with you too. Welcome back to The Simple Pleasures. I'm Laurie. I've recently gone through some major life changes. I became a grandparent. I hit a milestone birthday. I stepped away from full-time work, paying off our home mortgage, starting this YouTube channel, and just letting go of so many of my life's possessions that no longer serve me in this season of life. And through it all, I stopped chasing the things that were causing added stress and anxiety in my life. One of the biggest things that I stopped chasing was urgency. Over my 40-year career, I worked in two different professions, journalism and public relations. They were both deadline-driven. Everything was always on fire and needed immediate attention or analysis or explanation. I worked from the pre-dawn hours until bedtime, and then I got up and I did it all over again the next day. I was hardwired to keep my nose to the grindstone until the inevitable happened. I crashed and burned out. In this season of life, I no longer feel like everything has to happen right now. Not everything is urgent. Some things can unfold slowly. And there is a huge amount of peace that comes with trusting that instead of creating a list of things that have to be completed every single day. I create a list of things I'd like to accomplish in a week or over the next month. And that allows me to open myself up to saying yes to people and experiences that happen spontaneously. Spontaneity had never been something I was comfortable with before. It was much easier to just say, sorry, I'm too busy working. And speaking of, productivity is also something that I've stopped chasing. Now that you know more about my fast-paced, intense career, you can probably imagine that I measured my success in how productive I was. I noticed I carried a lot of that through my Swedish death cleaning. For 3 months, I was hyper-focused on combing through a lifetime of possessions, as if there was an expectation that every single day I had to be productive. I realized I had traded my full-time job for another full-time job of Swedish death cleaning. And then when I completed that project and the days became wide open to do the things that I want to do, I realized how being productive has been a part of my life for nearly my entire life. Letting go has significantly improved my life. Creating this YouTube channel was my quiet rebellion against hustle culture. I think it's important to draw boundaries so that you can achieve balance between your working hours and your time away from work. I want to model the many ways we can all learn to enjoy the simple pleasures of life. Someone recently asked me what I'm doing with my time now that I'm no longer working full-time. My answer? Living my life. Another thing I've stopped chasing is approval. I was hardwired as a child to be a people pleaser. So throughout my life, I've chased the approval of nearly everyone I've ever interacted with. Probably not the best mindset in which to start a YouTube channel where people are constantly picking apart my decisions. But when I tell you I'm no longer living my life to please others, it is the most freeing thing I've ever done. What that looks like in motion is setting boundaries with my time and my energy. I still show up for the people and causes that I care about, but I stopped saying yes to the things that rob me of my energy. Hopefully, what remains is that I'm bringing my best self to every moment and every relationship, and also coming to terms with the realization that I'm not for everyone. And that was a big one for me. In some rooms, I made myself purposely small because my morals and ethics didn't necessarily align with theirs. It robbed me of my authenticity. I would go along to get along because I didn't want to ruffle any feathers. It is so very liberating to step out of that mindset and into my own light. I am now unapologetically me. I'm far from perfect in any aspect of my life. On this channel, you will never see me trying to chase perfection. I'm just trying to enjoy the time I have left on this earth, because every day is a gift. I've also stepped away from the feeling that I need to keep up. You know what I mean? Driving a newer car, keeping up with the latest in fashion trends, chasing the latest home decor trends, having an updated kitchen, pantry, closet, and home. Don't get me wrong, I love fashion and also love home decor. I've also wished for new furniture and a remodeled kitchen because I want to live in a more functional, peaceful space, and because I'm annoyed by things that are broken. But for me, paying off our home and retiring early were more important goals, and I couldn't do both. We made some sacrifices in order to reach our financial goals. And now that I'm living this peaceful new existence, I can tell you it's absolutely worth it. Swedish death cleaning has helped me let go of things. But what I didn't expect was how much it would help me let go of ways of living that no longer serve me. If any of this resonated with you, please share your thoughts in the comments below. I'm always energized by the information that you share here. We can all learn from each other. If you hung around to the end of this video, would you please consider liking and subscribing? It really does help support the channel, and it would mean so much to me. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next one.